Saturn III is a sci-fi thriller set in a not-too-distant future where two scientists, Dr. Adam Kirk Douglas and his assistant Alex Farrah Fawcett, work on a space station orbiting Saturn. They're working on a high-tech project to help sustain life on Earth. Enter the twist. A military man, Captain Benson, Harvey Tell, is sent to assist them Origansi, bringing along an advanced robot called Hector. However, things go awry when Hector becomes uncontrollable, influenced by Benson's questionable mental state and an obsessive fixation on Fawcett's character. The plot revolves around the escalating tension between the humans and the robot, with a creepy, unpredictable dynamic as the AI, Hector begins to develop feelings and becomes a threat to both Adam and Alex. It's a slow-burn thriller with moments of action and horror as the humans try to survive and regain control of the space station. The characters. Kirk Douglas, Dr. Adam. At the heart of the film is Kirk Douglas, who plays Dr. Adam, an older, somewhat grizzled scientist. Douglas brings a certain gravitas to the role, playing the stoic, experienced scientist who's been stuck in space too long. While Adam is trying to hold it together, we see his vulnerability and growing anxiety about the situation. His relationship with Alex feels genuine, and there's a subtle chemistry there that adds layers to his character. Farrah Fawcett plays Alex, a more youthful and idealistic scientist. Her role in Saturn III comes right after her fame from Charlie's Angels, and here she's cast in a different light. She's strong-willed, intelligent, and capable, but she's also caught in a dangerous and at times sexualized situation with the men around her. Her character is essential to the film, not just as a love interest, but also as someone who holds her own in the face of horror. Keitel plays the somewhat sinister Captain Benson. He's the catalyst for the conflict, bringing Hector to life and triggering a cascade of events that push the story into more tense and dark territory. His portrayal of a man slowly losing his sanity under the weight of his obsession with Alex and control over Hector is unsettling. Hector is a towering, imposing robot that feels part HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey and part Frankenstein's monster. With its terrifying design and malfunctioning behavior, Hector is as much a character in the film as the human actors, with its cold, emotionless nature. As Hector's AI evolves, it introduces themes of machine consciousness, autonomy, and danger in technology. Themes. Human versus machine. The movie plays heavily on the fear of machines taking over. Hector's malfunction and its growing obsession with Alex represent humanity's deep-seated anxieties about technology evolving beyond human control. It's a theme that feels very relevant, considering how we've seen AI discussions today. Isolation. The film explores the loneliness of space and the psychological effects it can have on humans. Adam and Alex are isolated from Earth, relying on each other for comfort and support, but they are also dealing with the threat of their environment. This feeling of being cut off from civilization enhances the sense of tension and fear. Humanity and AI. The malfunctioning Hector's increasing attachment to Alex also ties into the age-old question: can a machine develop human-like emotions or desires? While the film doesn't explore this as deeply as some other sci-fi classics, the idea is there, and it's unsettling to think about machines becoming sentient, or worse, becoming obsessed with us. Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett's careers. Kirk Douglas. By 1980, Kirk Douglas was an icon of classic Hollywood, with an extensive and storied career. His credits include some of the most memorable films in history, such as Spartacus, 1960, and Paths of Glory, 1957. In Saturn III, his performance is more restrained, showcasing his maturity and gravitas as an actor. By the time of this film, Douglas was in his 60s, and he brought an older, wiser energy to the role of Dr. Adam. Fawcett, having become a global star after her role on Charlie's Angels, was looking to branch out into film. Saturn III was one of her most prominent film roles, and though the movie didn't become a big hit, it showed that she could handle more serious, complex roles. She brings both beauty and brains to her character of Alex. Unfortunately, Saturn III is often remembered more for its sci-fi elements than for Fawcett's performance, but she shines here in her physicality and emotional depth, giving the film some much-needed human heart amidst the technological chaos. Similar movies of its era. Saturn III shares a lot of thematic similarities with other sci-fi films from the late 70s and early 80s. If you're into the man versus machine tension, films like 2001: A Space Odyssey, 1968, and Westworld, 1973 will resonate with you. Both deal with AI gone wrong and the consequences of human interference with technology. Another film in a similar vein is Alien, 1979, directed by Ridley Scott, which also uses space as a backdrop for exploring isolation, fear, and the threat of something uncontrollable, in that case, the xenomorph. Outland, 1981, starring Sean Connery, also features a space station setting and themes of isolation and paranoia. The robot in Saturn III, Hector, feels like a precursor to the terrifying AI in The Terminator, 1984, albeit less well-developed in terms of emotional depth. Final thoughts. While Saturn III didn't quite hit the heights of other sci-fi classics, it offers a fascinating glimpse into early 80s science fiction, combining the age-old fear of machines with an eerie, isolated setting. The performances by Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett are solid, and the visuals, while a little dated, still hold up as part of that retro, nostalgic sci-fi charm. The film doesn't always stick the landing, but for fans of vintage space thrillers, Saturn III offers a fun mix of tension, creepy technology, and classic sci-fi elements. It's one of those films that might not have been a huge hit at the time, but has found its place in the hearts of genre fans.